You can start whenever you're ready.
Give me a second. Let me know when you guys are ready. Give me a second. Sprinting all week.
There goes wire girl.
Do you run all the meetings, all the?
You're just,
I sat downtown commission, that's my commission. Like,
which one do you do?
downtown commission, then we all buddy each other, like, oh, we each have one commission. How about that?
Good.
Anybody ready? Okay. It's not turning on.
Yes.
It's not lighting, the light's not
Oh,
lighting.
it's not?
Yeah, see, not lighting. Does that matter? Or I could use somebody.
Project. Project your voice.
Thank you, dear. Hi, welcome to the Brewery District Commission meeting. It is May 5th, 2022, 4 o'clock, and we are at 111 North Front Street on the second floor in room 204. I'd like to call the meeting to order and note that the next monthly business meeting is at noon on Thursday, May 19th, same place. And the next commission hearing is Thursday, June 2nd, also same place. I'd like to swear in the staff. Connie, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. Connie Torbeck, Assistant Historic Preservation Office.
Thank you very much. And can I introduce the commissioners present, if you would introduce yourselves?
Yes, Patrice Allen Brady.
William Hugus.
Matt Leisure.
And I'm Cynthia Hunt. Thank you, commissioners, for coming today. First item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the April 7th meeting. Is there any feedback for the staff on those minutes? Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
I move to enter in the record.
Second.
Any conversation?
No.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Same sign? Minutes are passed. And Connie, you want to talk to us about our applications and agenda today?
Could we just have a motion first, please, to approve the staff approvals?
Thank you very much.
Second page.
Can we have a motion to approve the staff approvals?
A motion to approve staff approvals.
Thank you, Mr. Leader.
I second.
Mr. Hugus, thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you very much. So approved. Now, back to the agenda today. If you would like to walk us through the items, Connie, we appreciate it.
Okay, first application is for 41 West Whittier Street for a new rooftop canopy. This application was moved to staff approval at the April 21st Brewery District Commission business meeting, and the COA has been issued. No action required. Application number 2, BD 2205003, 1021 South High Street. We have Dan Powell from the landscaping company attending. We have request for action for a landscape hardscape project.
Tell us about your feedback. Or you want to come up first? Fine, come on up. Are you here for that?
What's that?
Are you here for that application?
Yes,
Have a seat. Can you introduce yourself and your affiliation?
Dan Powell with Black Rock Landscaping. I am the owner.
Thank you for joining us today.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you raise your right hand, please?
I can.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. You may be
You're welcome.
seated.
Okay, so this is to install a paper patio under your yard. We have the type of pavers that they want to use. Also to remove the existing wood fence around the AC condenser, install a new dry stacked Brussels block limestone wall. remove the section of the concrete patio to provide level overall patio surface, and install Brussels limestone border around the patio. April 21st business meeting comments included, consider whether the proposed round edge paver will work well. A 90-degree edge paver may work better. A permeable paver installation is encouraged to allow water to percolate and not cause water issues to the house or neighboring properties. Consider leaving some area of green space. What is the reason for removing the fence, AC enclosure, and replacing it with a stone enclosure? How tall would the stone wall be, and how would the dry set wall be stabilized? It would not match the house foundation. Applicant notes that the chosen paver is Bellcrest 760, and they provided a cut sheet for that. And the patio will have the proper pitch to drain to the rear of the property. Homeowners prefer the clean look of the stone wall and think it blends with the color of the house foundation. 24-inch high wall could be glued to stabilize it. And then my input is just that the city's water protection plan notes that hard surfaces like rooftops, sidewalks, driveways, and parking lots generate large quantities of stormwater every time it rains. Rainfall and snow melt carry oil, sediment, and other pollutants into the curb and stormwater system and treated to nearby waterways. The plan encourages property owners to pave only the area needed on their property and pave it with a pervious surface. Therefore, all architectural review commissions are encouraging permeable paved parking and patio surface, but it is not required by current guidelines. So staff recommends approval of the application as submitted with a recommendation that the applicant consider a permeable pavement.
Were you able to talk to staff before this meeting?
Those were some of his comments back.
Okay,
I mailed with,
okay, all right.
yeah.
Is there anything you would like to add to
I think
your application?
she covered most of it. I mean, they switched from a different paver once, I got your opinions on that to the Bellcrest.
Good.
And then I think we had on there like a, polymeric sand. We're gonna, go to, more of like a mason permeable sand to, be able to filter through that.
So you took our recommendations
Yes,
and
ma'am.
were able to make the changes?
Yes, ma'am.
We appreciate that very much.
Absolutely.
Okay, and please tell, you're the owner, right? So it doesn't.
Owner of the company, but not the home.
Oh, please tell the owner of the home we appreciate their willingness
Yes.
to listen to our recommendations.
I will.
I have a question about that. So basically you're changing the surface on which the pavers lay? Or
Not the
you're-
surface underneath, it's gonna be gravel underneath of the pavers, but, like the jointing sand.
Right, they'll be a little bit farther apart, but same.
Yes, with the clay pavers, you have to space them out because they're not exactly the same size.
Don't they have little nubs on them to keep the spacing?
So not the clay.
Not that
paver.
one?
Yeah, but they're just all different sizes, so in actually to lay them in somewhat straight, you have to gap them about a quarter to a half inch.
And then the sand is,
It won't be the polymeric, it'll be more of like a mason sand that will actually filter the water instead of, the polymeric hardens, so it'll keep the water on the surface and we won't use that.
okay, so I'm learning a little. Students, we're just really now starting to encourage people to do.
Sure.
So it's basically, it's the sand that's more permeable in this case.
Yes, yes.
Okay, does the commission have questions?
Yeah, is there a reason or a need to pave the entire space?
So they thought that the green space that they had, wasn't really functional for their family. So they wanted to create a bigger patio space so they could, enjoy it more. Since it was such a small green space area.
I'd just like to point out that since you're paving the whole rear yard, you do need to be careful to make sure you're not dumping any water on the neighbors.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know that the pavers help, but the grading is also important.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all gonna go, the water's gonna flow back towards the back alley and they have a drain back there.
That'll work.
Yeah, I think that's my other main concern. It's just making sure if you're pitching it all to the side, it'd be helpful to have at least some
Yeah,
pitching area between the fence and the pavement, but
Sure.
if you are saying you're gonna pitch it all.
Yeah,
to
it's
the
all
back,
gonna go straight back.
Do we want to make a motion with some embedded recommendations? Or require that he the water really drain toward the back as he's.
I think that would be, we can just
Who wants
put that into the,
Okay, any other discussion? Who would like to formulate the motion?
Could I just, sorry. could I
Yeah, I'm
ask,
sorry.
Did you have any comments about the wall?
Thank you for asking, Connie.
I think the only comment we had was, so it's gonna be freestanding essentially, right?
So we can mortar it, so
Okay.
mortar it to one another.
Yeah.
That way it's not gonna go anywhere for stability purposes.
How tall is it?
It's about 24 inches tall.
Okay.
It's inside the fence, yes?
So the little wooden fence they have currently right around the AC unit,
Oh, that's right. This is.
they want to take that out because they think the limestone is going to kind of match the bottom of the stone on the
We were
house.
struggling with that. We didn't see the match as being really.
Really?
No. That-
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty close.
Color wise.
Yeah, I think the
I mean,
materials.
we could
okay.
get a larger limestone to make it match the bigger brick on the house. We could do that, but it would be very similar in color. And the limestone will fade a little bit.
I think that would be helpful if you use a bigger module limestone, just
So
for
I think-
stability, because those.
Sure.
Freestanding.
Yeah, we could definitely do that.
As well as the-
I think the
Yeah.
images are about 2 to 3 inch stone, and we could get a 6-inch stone, which is gonna be more stable.
Is that roughly what it is around the house foundation?
Oh, they're probably taller than that.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. There's no way to match that, is there? It'd still be cost.
I think those are some kind of special like foundation brick of some sort. I
But
don't
they're
know.
typically 8 inches tall
Yes.
anyway, so
Yes, I mean, we could get it close.
if you get a 6 inch, at least it's a lot
It's better
closer.
than it was, yes.
Yeah.
We'd love 8, but 6 is probably acceptable. Okay, anything else we would like to add to that?
So I'll make a motion to approve that all drainage is to the back and off the property in the hardscape areas, and also that the limestone is a 6-inch height,
At least 6, preferably 8.
at least 6, preferably 8.
Okay.
So approval is contingent on those two. on the
Absolutely.
First element, right?
Yeah.
Definitely not a problem.
Okay, great.
And when he references the back, it's the alley.
Yes.
Yes,
Make
now,
sure it says the alley,
Yeah,
because
just
the
for
back could be
everybody.
back side yards.
Do we want to say anything about the green space, or we're okay?
I think we're okay. I can understand not having, very small planting areas, because that just get to be a maintenance issue if you're not into gardening and,
Sure.
take care of planting. So I think that's fine.
All right, cool. Anybody else, everybody comfortable with the motion? Any other feedback? We have a motion on the table. Is there a second?
Second?
Any discussion? I think not. Okay, all approved? Signify by aye. Any opposed? Okay. Motion passes with those contingencies.
yes,
Thank you.
ma'am.
Okay, so when you choose a different stone for the wall, just send me a photo of that.
Sure.
I can send your certificate of.
Like next to the wall, so she can see it if you could do that.
Yeah, I can get those numbers to you.
Okay.
So we're okay with it trying to match. It was when it was, no,
Okay,
Only
just
color
a little
amount.
thicker stuff.
yeah, all right. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Very good. Thank you all.
And thanks for making those changes.
You're very welcome.
So item number 3, BD 2205-004, 514 to 520 South High Street was for a request for recommendation. This was moved to staff approval at the
These were all the variances.
21st, yeah.
Yeah.
On the building that was previously approved already. in the
Right.
construction. A recommendation has been issued and no action required. Number 4, BD 2205-005, 1006 South High Street. This is for the McDonald's, and
Yes.
this is for, they're calling them mini billboards. They said that they weren't able to come, and they asked to be continued to June. So if you want to provide some comments, feedback.
Why don't you talk about your staff recommendation first?
Okay. So there is for 3 new mini billboards, one on each of the north and south sides of the McDonald building and one on the dumpster enclosure, which they call a corral. Each billboard to measure 8 feet by 4 feet. which they said they could reduce to 4 feet by 4 feet, but that still wouldn't meet the guidelines, I don't think. They would be in metal frames. So the short north design guidelines state, each ground floor tenant space or building, if single tenant occupancy may have one projecting sign and either one wall sign or one awning sign. The sign's message should be designed in a simple fashion and may include the business name, logo, function, and or street number or address and related artistic treatments. Telephone numbers and web addresses are not appropriate. New signage should be designed to be illogical and complementary component of the overall design for the storefront and the associated building's character and period, architecture period. These guidelines are generally geared to historic commercial storefront buildings and do not directly address modern detached commercial drive-through signage. However, the purpose of the proposed signage would seem to be more appropriately fit for the short north design guidelines. Temporary signage, which reads, temporary signs are permitted as provided under the city's graphics code. Any temporary sign exceeding 4 square feet in an area requires a COA before it may be displayed. The COA must include the approved time limit for display of the temporary sign. So staff recommended that the proposed sign be combined into one temporary banner sign to be located on the dumpster enclosure. And temporary signage is a staff approval item if they.
Let's show the content of the signs.
That's gonna be the sign?
Yes,
There's
it's one
three
of
the
them.
ones.
They're equivalent, in my opinion.
Basically,
It's not really this is not really describing the business.
yeah,
And to me, if the guidelines say no webs and no, what was the other thing it said?
phone numbers,
No phone numbers, these are texting is pretty much the same thing in my opinion.
right? And sometimes people will put up, and they do this without approval, a lot, but
But we do not recommend that.
they'll
Right.
put up a sign saying now hiring or something like that, and that's what I see these.
But it's clearly a temporary thing. Right.
But are these banners?
No, these are.
They're permanent signs.
Yeah, should be affixed to each side of the building and the dumpster.
How long do they plan on having?
Well, we haven't had that discussion.
I would feel comfortable with you having a conversation with them that says they're not aligned with guidelines.
I already did that, but
You did that already? And this is their counter proposal?
no, it just was, because I forgot to put it on there, so I did it late, so I only discussed it with them.
What was their reaction?
I think they're just not really, didn't seem real familiar with the process and the guidelines and so forth.
It's probably not the same people it's clearly not the same people who built it,
Could be.
who have to be very familiar because we spend a lot of time with
Right,
them.
yeah.
I'm comfortable with your recommendations. What do you guys think? Communicating back to them?
It's a no for me.
Yeah, same thing.
It's clearly a no.
It's a no, doesn't meet guidelines, and your recommendations is the only way to go, I think. Yeah.
I think the difference between a banner and a sign is pretty,
Big difference.
so
Yeah.
I think your recommendations,
Right on point.
yeah.
And one.
One.
One do you think you would argue one for structure is one on the corral and one on the building? No, right, so one.
I mean, if you're driving through, you're gonna see both sides of the building stand that.
Right, you can, and so it feels to me like the one that faces south is probably or the corral is probably their best bet.
And then they would have to, show how they were going to attach it so that it's order or whatever they do.
And we're also, I also think this is I think the content is suspect. Because to me, it's very similar to email or other attributes that we would not.
Yeah.
Do we allow that on banners more
Well, we
often?
need to, I guess we'll need to maybe discuss that with my supervisors.
If you could and get a sense if he's thinking they're aligned or if he's more comfortable with that, that'd be great. Okay. All right.
So, those are really just comments, no action taken.
Well, we could take an action if they would like, but I doubt that they would be.
Right. We'll just deny it, basically.
Also asking them how long would they want to have it up would be
Okay.
helpful.
Okay, that's it.
That it? That's it for the formal agenda. Is there any other topic that you would like to bring up? Anybody else?
No?
Okay, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, everybody. Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
So the only other
What?
news